India's victory against England has given 1.3 billion Indians plenty of reasons to smile. The performance in Manchester was made even more special because two individuals have ushered in a new era. We all thought Yuvraj Singh, Mohammad Kaif in 2002 was the signalling of a new era in Indian cricket. In Manchester, 20 years later, we saw Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya absolutely flatten England, and Pant, what a stage to do it. His performances in a deciding match continue to impress one and all. Gaba, you thought was spectacular? Well, Manchester just tops that. What a time to get to his first Test century, first ODI century. And that is the peg, that how Rishabh Pant gave 1.3 billion Indians so many reasons to smile. And social media, as you might expect, has gone gaga. We have got some very interesting collection of tweets that have celebrated India's epic win against England, and it continues their trend of having not lost to England ever since 2018. So, the first tweet, Yuvraj Singh, India's greatest match winner, had said, looks like, and we even confirmed it on Sports Today as well, that Yuvraj Singh had a 45-minute conversation with Rishabh Pant. Looks like the 45-minute conversation made sense. Well played, Rishabh Pant. That's how you pace your innings. At Hardik Pandya 7, great to watch. It is fitting that Yuvraj Singh, the guy who helped you win the 2007 World T20 as well as the 2011 World Cup, would give some tips to them. What was the 45-minute conversation? Well, we cannot get into the details of that, but I can safely assure you what did he tell Rishabh Pant in a very small gist. How to win matches in a pressure situation. Who better than UV to ensure that India had won the series 2-1? And by the way, 36 years later, India have not lost a single series in England. They tied the tests 2-2. They won the ODIs and the T20Is 2-1. This feat has not been achieved since 1986, when India were undefeated in tests and ODIs. UV, how the blueprint is how to win in pressure situations. Pant really must have listened to each word that UV said. When UV says, you listen. Perhaps this tweet is a very creative dig at the current England setup. After this series loss at home, England is putting pressure on Ireland, New Zealand, South Africa to produce more talents. As you may be aware, most of England's test and white ball talents do come from overseas. Ben Stokes is New Zealand. Most guys, Owen Morgan is Irish. South Africa, you had a whole bunch of South African match winners, from Andrew Strauss to Kevin Peterson to Matt Pryor. What say? That will increase pressure in it. By the way, Harry Tector, the guy who's done so well for Ireland, who knows, he could one day go and represent England. That is the situation which many people are pointing out. England have lost because the core of the England team were not there. That is the Irish, the Kiwis and the Proteas. Very subtle dig, and hats off for tweeting such a good tweet, by the way. But perhaps the tweet that is making the rounds is this. Rishabh Pant, after he got his Man of the Match award for that brilliant 100, he ran over to Ravi Shastri, the former coach, and handed him, as you can see here, a bottle of champagne. Ravi Shastri and champagne, well, he did in a very sporting way acknowledge these habits in an advertisement that he had done a couple of months back. You have to check that ad out, and it is simply sensational. Here, Pant is just playing true to his spirit, and look at the way how Ravi Shastri has taken it, and the swag of Shaz. Immediately after he gets the bottle, he does post-match analysis. If you want swag and style, be like Shaz. There is this very interesting tweet. This scene, this grab is from the film Welcome, which was released in 2007. The caption is David Willey to Rishabh Pant, Mujhe kyun toda? It means that David Willey had been pretty decent by the time Rishabh Pant had settled in. But towards the end of the match, Rishabh Pant blasted 5 consecutive fours of him. So David Willey, who had troubled the Indian batsman in Lords as well as here, was found wanting. You can very well imagine all the bowlers having the same dialogue as well as these kind of expressions when Rishabh Pant and Hardik Pandya were going hammer and tongs at each other. This one, it is pretty funny. Don't get fooled by the image, right? You will see Rishabh Pant is probably scolding Rohit Sharma. That is the kind of image that has come up. And I treated Topley Willie as they should be, that you forgot to. It's a pretty hilarious dig at Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli, because remember, Reece Topley got rid of both Rohit Sharma and Virat Kohli in Manchester. It was Willie who dismissed Kohli at Lords, and Topley got rid of Rohit. So Rishabh Pant treated both Reece Topley and David Willey with absolute disdain. And looking at the scars of it, England have lost their gun match winner. Has the India series loss really impacted Ben Stokes? Because remember, tomorrow on Tuesday, again in the ODI against South Africa and Durham, he's going to play his last ODI. So the final image of Ben Stokes will be getting all squared up to a Hardik Pandya bouncer and lobbing a simple catch. That is the power of Rishabh Pant. Scores stuns in pressure situations, scores it with tremendous aggression and ends careers. That is what you call an impact player, folks. So we are all reveling in this magnificent win, and so will be. The celebrations will continue at least for the next couple more days until the West Indies tour. So thank you so much for joining us for this live, folks, and celebrate all through the week, because this is a special win. Subscribe to Sports Today for all the latest news and analysis. We are also there on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram, folks. Thank you.